Hey everybody, welcome to ETHeREAL where we keep it real. This is going to be your July 13th update outlook on Ethereum cryptocurrency. Keep in mind this is not one of the typical news videos I do. If you're tuned into this channel, my aim is to bring you constant news every day, the most important news of that day for Ethereum, and I keep them in a short, concise, quick video so you don't waste too much time watching these long in-depth videos and get you the value as soon as possible. Although this is the weekend, I'm going to provide you with a slightly more in-depth update as to what to look out for going into this week, as this week is a pivotal week for the sort of outcomes that we're looking for going into the cryptocurrency and Ethereum getting into a more bullish pattern and structure. So that being said, let's dive right into it. From Monday to Friday, the House of Representatives will vote on 3 landmark crypto bills. The first one is the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act, called the Clarity Act. This is going to define when a token like Ethereum is either a commodity or a security. The next thing they're going to be voting on is the Genius Stablecoin Act. This will create the first federal licensing framework for USD-backed stablecoins. Most of those stablecoins live on Ethereum. And lastly, the most important bill they're going to be voting on is the Anti-Central Banking Digital Currency Surveillance Act. This will bar the Federal Reserve from issuing a retail digital dollar. Now, why are these things important? Why is this week so important, and why are these bills being voted on important? Well, the first thing is that this is the first time Congress is going to vote on comprehensive crypto market structure law rather than like small amendments. Additionally, these bills that I named are going to collectively touch Ethereum's commodity status. The large use cases like stablecoins and other things I haven't mentioned yet, as well as future competition from U.S. central bank digital currency. So no matter which way this roll call goes this week for these bills that are being voted on, the headlines will set regulatory narrative and thus risk appetite for the rest of quarter 3 2025 going into quarter 4. This means that depending on the outcome, we are going to exactly find out this week what sort of rest of the year we're looking for as far as Ethereum and cryptocurrency as a whole is directed towards. I want to give you a quick different scenario breakdown. First, let's start with the negative, a potential bearish scenario. Now, how would that happen this week? That would happen if there's any sort of last minute amendment labels to the ETH a security. Anything like that, although it's very low probability, it will be very high impact. The last thing we want is for ETH to get marked as a security. That's not going to be good for the sort of outcome we're looking for as ETH enthusiasts. The next thing that might create a bearish scenario is that if Clarity Act or Genius Act gets watered down or it gets delayed in the Senate. These things can cause Ethereum status to remain ambiguous. It could cause stablecoin frameworks to stall. Industry must be keeping lobbying through election season because they didn't get the outcome they were looking for. The SEC is going to gain primary jurisdiction over ETH if it gets marked as a security. Not a good thing for us long term, as well as the US exchanges would need some sort of broker-dealer license to list Ethereum. Staking yields might be deemed unregistered securities. These are all bearish signals and a potential scenario if the voting this week on these important bills that mentioned do not go towards the direction that we'd be looking for ideally. Now let's look at the more likely outcome, the most likely outcome, and the bullish scenario of the outcome of these votings. If the best case scenario happens, which is all 3 bills pass, this is the base case bipartisan support from both sides. That means that Ethereum formally treated as a digital commodity in the US law. That's going to open up a lot of doors as far as opportunities and potential. Stablecoin issuers are going to gain a clear path to nationwide licensing. It's going to come into all sorts of aspects in the financial sector and be utilized in a whole new way that it hasn't been before. And lastly, anti-central bank digital currency bill reassures privacy-minded users. We do not want some sort of centralized Federal Reserve-based cryptocurrency to come in and take away attention and take away financing and money and take it away from Ethereum, like I said, and potential growth that we have right now building for it. Now, all these things considered, this week is going to be pivotal. And again, I'm going to be bringing you guys updates every day of the week in short, concise video format to keep you guys up to date. So before we leave this video, I want to show you a quick technical analysis for where we're at. If you watched the Ethereum news update I posted on Friday, July 11th, we did mention going into this weekend that we're prepared for some sort of sideways action, potentially downwards towards the 2850, 2900 range. And although we kind of did touch that area, not as much as we predicted, our prediction came to fruition as far as the videos being recorded right now, which, as you can see on screen, the performance has been sideways. We haven't really lost too much ground as far as the gains that we had the past few weeks, and we haven't necessarily moved upwards. As you can see, the sort of volume we're looking at this past 2 days and going into this weekend has been kind of calm, and that sort of makes sense. I mean, it's unhealthy to consistently and continuously just move upwards. That's not what we want to see. We want to see healthy price action, some sort of correction, profit taking, as well as cautious outlook for bigger money and whales in the space. As I mentioned, these bills and the votes and the outcome is going to decide a lot going into Q3 and Q4. So it makes sense that we've had a little bit of slowdown going into this weekend and throughout this weekend, because I bet you a lot of informed investors want to see the outcome of this week before we go stronger into the bull side or potentially in the bear side. That being said, if the bill does pass or all bills pass and we get the bullish outcome, we can expect some sort of serious move upwards on top of what we've already seen, potentially testing these original levels that we were at. The 61% Fibonacci retracement level could be regained. As you can see, we kind of bounced off of it a few times around this 3100 mark, and that's a big resistance level from the past few months and even past few years. Ever since we lost that back in around the 2025, like early 2025 after the election, but we were below it going into the election as well. So this move upwards could be a really good bullish indicator, and we could potentially look at regaining that 3300 to 3500 range. That being said, if we move skyrocket past that, I'd be a little cautious, potentially take profits. But if we kind of do the same thing where we gain big ground and hold our space, turn our resistance into support, we're going to be looking at a great week and great end of the week. But again, make sure to tune into my channel. I'm going to be providing you concise, quick, to the point updates every day around the most important Ethereum news so that you keep yourself informed and make the right decisions for you. None of this is financial advice. I'm just an enthusiast that loves the coin, and I see the future going towards this way. If you have any questions, drop it down below. Thanks for watching. Ethereum, keep it real.